So here we will make the Turner's cube or jack-in-a-box, which is an example of a very complex geometry of the intersecting cylindrical surfaces, which are created by making very simple actions. So in a real world, on a lathe, the jack-in-a-box is made by starting from the cube and by drilling, essentially just drilling on the 6 sides of the cubes. So here we are going to make it even simpler. We will use the hole wizard in the content of the SolidWorks, and we are going to just make a 2 counterbored holes from the top surface of a cube. So first we will make a cube, and in order to make our life easier, we will make the cube by making a central rectangle with the center in a coordinate origin, and then extruding it mid-plane so that the coordinate origin will be in the center of the cube. And in this example, the cube is 2.5 by 2.5 millimeter. And let's say that our jack-in-a-box will be from the alloy, and pardon, 2.5 by 2.5 inches. So I need to be in a IPS units, what I am. So I will start a new sketch, and I'm going to make a square, centered square. What is a centered rectangle here around my coordinate origin? I'm going to left click on a mouse of the horizontal line, press down shift for next selection, left click on a mouse on a vertical line, specify that those two are equal, and then just place a 1 dimension of 2.5, and here is our fully defined square. Close the sketch. I will extrude it with the termination of the mid-plane for a 2.5 overall. And here is my stock of material that I'm going now to build my jack-in-a-box. Now, before I start doing my hole wizard, I'm going to make a sketch on one of its face and place a point in a center, what means coincidental with my coordinate origin, and close the sketch. So this sketch only contains 1 point. The next, I'm going to start drilling the counterbored holes using the hole wizard, and the depths are all measured from the face, from the top face. So if I go features, and if I go hole wizard, I'm going first to choose this one here as a type of the hole, the legacy hole. Then type is going to be the counterbored. And now the termination or the end condition, what is here, will be blind. So that way we can control all the depths. I will start with the inner hole, so 1/4 inch for 1.5. So that's here, the diameter is 0.25. Depth is a 1.5. Counterbore diameter will be the next hole specification, 0.619 for a depth of 1. 0.619 for a depth of 1. And I will click OK. And this has placed my 2 smallest holes. Now, I'm going to repeat my operation of the hole wizard. I'm going to use the same legacy counterbored hole, but now I'm going to make the 2 other sets. So the 1.237 for 750 and 750 is the hole size itself. 1.237. Let's see actually. Yep, 1.237. 237, and depth is a 750. And the counterbore diameter is going to be 1.856 for a depth of 0.5. 1.856 for the depth of 0.25. No, 0.5, sorry, for the depth of 0.5. And click position. It's on the top surface, and it will be with coordinate origin. Click OK. Let's see what has happened there. 1.24 to 0.75, sorry. So we need to be careful that we enter that point. Here it is. So, and here we have created all of the holes. Now, what I need to do, I'm going to use the circular pattern or circular array to array these hole features 4 times in this direction. And for this, I need to create some axis here. And to make that axis, I'm going to use the reference geometry, but before that, I will make a sketch with a point in the center of this face. And because that's coincide with coordinate origin, it's very simple. We just put a point which is coincidental with the coordinate origin of my sketch. Close the sketch. Now I will put the axis. Axis will go from a point and face, where the point is what I just created, and face is this one. And I have the axis now for the linear, or for the circular pattern. I will click on a circular pattern. It automatically chooses my axis. I will be sure that it is a equal spacing 360 degree and 4 items. And the features that I want to array will be one counterbore and other let's see if I can select it from here, or I can select it obviously from the parametric tree. Hole 1 and hole 2. Click OK. How many? We want 4. And look what happened. I have created them all on the 4 sides. Now I still have to do on these 2 sides. So I will flip the whole model, like just for an easier view. Look at this is my original holes. But this time I will use the axis of my created hole, because you can use any cylindrical surface as an axis for revolution, for the circular pattern. So again, I will go to a circular pattern. I'm going to choose the hole 1 and hole 2, and direction will be the inner surface on any of the cylindrical features that I prepared. Now, I really want only 2 pieces, so I'm going to take out the piece which is repetitive, and that I will go here on instances to skip. And if I zoom in, let's see which piece already exists. I definitely don't want the existing one. And the existing one is this. So I will click on the ignore and click OK. And this completes the creation of our jack-in-a-box. If you use the proper dimension that we had here, if we evaluate it, its mass should be around 0.54 pounds. And if we look like the sectional view, you can see how the intersecting cylindrical faces make that beautiful, intricate internal structure of the jack-in-a-box or Turner's cube. So this is a fun assignment, so let's have a fun of making it. Thank you.